going on, guys? It's your boy SlimReacts, man. I'm back in the car with another so fresh and so clean new video. Today we got why New England's geography isn't what you think. Yes, I'm from New England, from Boston, Massachusetts, born and raised. Shout out. New England up here, the weather's fucking insane. Like literally this morning, it was like 3 degrees where you know I go to school, and I mean, it didn't feel like it. It was like what, 5 degrees out, and I literally just had my coat like open, like it literally felt like 20 degrees. The weather here is unpredictable, but that's what I like about it. It makes it spontaneous. It makes it fun to live here. So let's get straight into this video, man. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't got the soundboard or nothing. I'm gonna try to keep it raw.
What if
My
I told
yapping
you
to a
that this
minimum,
region
but
in the
you never
US
know.
is simultaneously one of the most densely populated and also its most heavily
Bang out some
forested,
reaction
or that
videos
one of
today.
its mountains held the world record for the fastest wind speed ever measured on
Not
Earth,
Washington, if
from
you don't know.
240,000 miles of stone walls hidden in the woods to a major city built almost entirely on a disappearing sandbar. This region's geography is
That's
not
Boston, by
what
the
you
way.
think. Here are 15 amazing geography facts you never knew about New England.
Boston was built on a landfill, basically.
The summit of Mount Washington in New Hampshire is a true force of nature, earning its famous slogan, home of the world's worst weather. Its geographic position at the convergence of major storm tracks, combined with its 6,288-foot prominence, creates a funnel for extreme weather. For over 60 years, it held the world record for the fastest wind gust ever recorded on Earth's surface.
It's like
An incredible
280.
231-mile-per-hour
231.
gust observed on April 12, 1934. This
Crazy.
record, now second only to one from a tropical cyclone, still stands as the fastest wind ever recorded in the northern hemisphere. The peak's alpine tundra climate is more like that of northern Labrador or Greenland than the temperate forest below, with hurricane-force winds blowing over 100 days a year.
Cape Cod is I think
Cape Cod,
every New
the
Englander knows
iconic
this.
arm-shaped peninsula of Massachusetts, is not solid bedrock. It's a massive, geologically young landform created by the last ice age. As the immense Laurentide ice sheet retreated around 20,000 years ago, it acted like a plow, pushing and dumping incomprehensible amounts of rock, sand, and silt. This pile of glacial debris is known as a terminal moraine. The rest of the cape is an outwash plain formed by meltwater streams carrying finer sediments
That's what
away
makes
from
it
the melting
interesting.
glacier. This means the entire cape is essentially a massive sandbar. Geologically, it's a temporary feature. The high cliffs on its Atlantic
I know where
side
that
are
is. I've
eroding
been
at
there.
an
I think
average
that's
rate of
Yarmouth
3
or
feet
Dennis
per
Port.
year, constantly reshaping the land.
Not Dennis. I'm stupid. Dennis is north by. That's Yarmouth Port.
Maine
Not
has a
Port, just
famously
Yarmouth.
jagged and irregular coastline. If measured in a straight line, it would only be about 228 miles long. However, if you include every bay, inlet, and tidal creek, its tidal coastline measures an astonishing 3,478 miles, longer than California's. This intricate shape is a result of its glacial past. During the last ice age, massive glaciers carved deep river valleys into the land. When the glaciers melted, global sea levels rose dramatically. The Atlantic Ocean then flooded or drowned these pre-carved valleys. This type of coastline is known as a Ria coast, and it's responsible for thousands of rocky islands, deep bays, and protected harbors that define Maine's geography and maritime
Is that Portland,
culture.
Maine?
Deep bays and protected harbors
That's not Portland. No, it's not Portland.
that define Maine's geography and maritime culture.
What the hell? Whale
Vermont
fossils?
is the only New England state with no Atlantic coastline. Yet its official state marine fossil is a beluga whale. This incredible paradox is explained by the Champlain Sea. At the end of the last ice age, around 13,000 years ago, the Laurentide ice sheet was so heavy it physically depressed the Earth's crust. As the glacier retreated, the land was so low that the Atlantic Ocean flooded the St. Lawrence and Champlain valleys. This created a vast, temporary inland sea. In 1849, rail workers in Charlotte, Vermont, discovered the bones of the beluga whale buried in clay, 10 feet below the surface and over 150 miles from the modern ocean.
That I do not know.
The bedrock of New England is not original to North America.
The previous
Geologically,
fact.
the region is a patchwork of exotic terrains, fragments of continents and ancient volcanic islands that were once part of other landmasses, including parts of modern-day Europe and Africa. These terrains drifted and collided with the North American plate over hundreds of millions of years, particularly during the formation of the supercontinent Pangaea. The Appalachian Mountains are the ancient, eroded remnants of this massive continental collision. This complex geologic history is why New England's bedrock is so different from the rest of the continent, and why it's so rich in metamorphic rocks like gneiss, schist, and marble. The dense forests of New England are crisscrossed by an estimated 240,000 miles of stone walls. These walls are not ancient boundaries, but rather a signature
Whoa.
of New England's agricultural history, specifically between 1775 and 1825. When European settlers cleared the land for farming, they encountered a crop that they never expected. Millions of rocks and boulders, known as glacial erratics, left behind by the last ice age. To clear their fields for plowing and to build fences for livestock, farmers painstakingly hauled these stones to the edges of their property. Today, as the forests have reclaimed the abandoned farmland, these walls stand as a rugged, enduring monument to the region's agricultural past.
Crazy to think those rocks are hundreds of years old.
A
I
surprising
think,
amount
yeah,
of
so I
modern
think every
Boston
person from like Boston or Massachusetts knows this. It's common sense. I mean, they teach this in school that Boston is basically a landfill. Like I'm talking about Back Bay area, like Logan Airport, like all of that is landfill. North End, all of that. So it all used to be like a peninsula.
is not original land. The city's famous neighborhoods, including the Back Bay, the
Yep.
South End, and Logan Airport,
It's
are built on
precisely
man
what I
made
just said.
land. The original city was on a tiny, hilly landmass called the Shawmut Peninsula,
Yeah.
connected
So Beacon Hill. Yeah, Beacon Hill. I confused that with Bunker Hill. Bunker Hill's like up here. Beacon Hill is original land. Like all of that. So downtown is all original, but the shit around it is not.
to the mainland by a thin strip of land. Starting in the 19th century, the city undertook one of the largest landfill projects in history. They filled in tidal flats, marshes, and parts of the harbor to create new, valuable real estate. The Back Bay, once a foul-smelling tidal marsh, was filled using gravel brought in by train from towns almost 10 miles away. This massive engineering project more than doubled the size of the original peninsula and permanently altered Boston's geography.
Interesting. Can you look at that again?
Altered Boston's geography.
Seaport, we all know Seaport is filled in. Yeah. Uh, I mean, you can kind of make out which parts have been filled in and which haven't. You can kind of tell. It's hard to tell, but you can, notice that. Castle Island, obviously. I think everyone knows that.
The American Industrial Revolution began in New England for a specific geographic reason: water power. The region's rivers, like the Merrimack, Blackstone, and Connecticut, are typically
Shout out Merrimack River next to my
short,
school.
steep, and fast moving. While this made them unsuitable for large-scale navigation seen on rivers like the Mississippi, their fall line, the point where they drop from the harder inland rock to the coastal plain, was perfect for powering water wheels. Entrepreneurs built massive textile mills and factories directly on these rivers, harnessing their energy. Cities like Lowell, Massachusetts, Manchester,
Ironic.
New Hampshire, and Pawtucket, Rhode Island exploded in size, all built
Lowell
around
Mills,
the power
bro.
of the region's unique river geography.
Ironic, bro. My fucking school is on here. I'm at school
The
right
Great
now.
New England Hurricane of 1938 was a fast-moving, unforecasted
Bro, what?
Category
There was a
3
hurricane?
storm that slammed into Long Island and New England. Its
Because
geographic
if you know Massachusetts, you know that hurricanes, the only damage that, because hurricanes, they start out in like the Bahamas area, and then they make their way towards Florida, and then through Alabama and then north. By the time they get up here, it's nothing but maybe light rain or some wind here and there.
impact was
So that's
permanent.
interesting.
The storm hit at a high tide with a storm surge of 14 to 18
Damn.
feet, destroying thousands of homes and killing nearly 700 people. Geographically, the surge was powerful enough to permanently alter the coastline. It cut 10 new inlets in Long Island's barrier islands, most notably the Shinnecock Inlet, which remains open to this day. It washed away sections of the coast of Rhode Island and Cape Cod, destroyed millions of trees across New England, and caused catastrophic river flooding, demonstrating the awesome power of New England weather in a single event.
And that's crazy. I never knew that.
The border between Maine and Canada was not finalized until 1842, and the dispute over it led to the Aroostook War. This 1838 conflict was a
Not gonna lie, bro.
but most
Maine, anything past like Portland is Canada, bro. Like, keep it a buck. Like, nobody lives in the northern part of Maine. You can just claim that shit, bro. Like,
mostly bloodless military
there's
standoff
nothing
between
up
the
up
US and
north
Great
Maine
Britain.
to do.
The dispute was purely about geography, control of the St. John River Valley. The original 1783 treaty was ambiguous about the highlands that was supposed to define the border. Both sides claimed the fertile valley and its incredibly valuable timber resources. Maine sent a militia to arrest Canadian loggers, and tensions escalated to the brink of full-scale war. Diplomats stepped in, and the Webster-Ashburton Treaty was signed, splitting the territory and establishing the permanent border we know today. New England is one of the most densely populated regions in the United States, but it's also one of the most heavily
Everybody
forested.
lives here in
This is the
Massachusetts. We have a 6 million population.
region's great paradox. Maine, at
And
89%
most live in
forested,
Boston
and
and
New
Greater
Hampshire,
Boston.
at 84% forested, are the two most forested states in the entire country, with Vermont and Massachusetts not far behind. So how
Interesting,
is this possible?
Massachusetts.
The answer is in
I mean, there's a lot of forest. Like I said, Canada. Like I said, Maine. You go north of Portland, it's just forest. Same with New Hampshire and Vermont. Massachusetts, like, you have Boston, right? Once you leave Boston, don't matter what direction you go, it's forest. So, say you go south past Dedham, it's all forest. So, you got like Franklin, Foxborough, Norfolk County, like that type of area, bro. It's all
human geography.
forest.
First, the 19th century farmland
Central
was abandoned
Massachusetts
as
is all
agriculture
forest.
moved west,
North
and the
Central.
forests naturally reclaimed the land. Second, New England's population is not evenly spread out. It is overwhelmingly clustered in dense urban corridors, especially along the coast from Boston down to southern Connecticut, leaving vast inland areas almost entirely forested and sparsely populated. In most of the United States, the county is the primary unit of local government, but New England is different. The fundamental political and geographic unit
Massachusetts
is the
has a
town.
few.
This tradition of town meeting government, where local citizens gather to
Suffolk
vote
County,
directly on
Norfolk
budgets
County.
and laws, dates back to the colonial era. This system creates a uniquely fragmented and hyper-local political landscape. In states like Connecticut and Rhode Island, county governments have been completely abolished, existing only as lines on a map. In Massachusetts, they've been mostly eliminated. All real power over schools, roads, and local law enforcement resides at
Bro,
the
that
town
is
level,
not
making New
Massachusetts,
England's
bro.
political geography
It's
distinct
Boston,
from
Cambridge.
any other region in the
This looks familiar. I was gonna say UMass Amherst, but this looks more like New Hampshire or Vermont.
country.
Maple syrup capital. Yeah, that's
New
Vermont.
England's human geography is inextricably
They
linked
say
to a
Canada has the syrup. No, it's Vermont,
specific
bro.
tree, the sugar maple. This tree thrives in the region's specific
I've seen
climate
these
of
trees
cold
many
nights
times. I mean,
and warming
I could
days
literally walk
in late
outside and
winter,
see one.
which causes the sap to run. As a result, New England dominates America's maple syrup production. Vermont, in particular, is the undisputed king, producing over 3.1 million
Educator
gallons
reacts.
in 2024. This accounts for over 50% of all maple syrup made in the United States.
Damn.
This liquid gold is not just a food product. It's a critical part of the rural economy, a pillar of cultural identity, and a major driver of tourism, all stemming from the region's unique physical geography. While
think that's Rhode
Boston
Island.
is a major metropolis, New England's other state capitals reflect its historic, decentralized geography. The smallest of all is Montpelier, Vermont. With a population of just 8,000 people, Montpelier is the smallest state capital in the
It should be realistically. Oh, what the fuck? Realistically, capital of Vermont should be um I think Vermont. I was gonna say Brunswick, but I don't think that's in Vermont. That's in Maine, I think. I don't fucking know. But I think
United
I think the
States by
capital
population.
for each state should just be the most populated area. Boston, makes sense. You have New York City, makes sense. Has like 8 million people. You have Los Angeles, makes sense. Uh, Actually, no, it's not Los Angeles. It's fucking some random ass shit. Sacramento, like Florida. It's Tallahassee. Like no, bro. All they have is FSU. Like it should be Miami. When people think of, Florida, they think of Miami. When people think of, you know, California, they think of LA. So it was just naturally would make
And in
sense that
fact,
way.
it's
But
the only state capital without a McDonald's. Augusta,
really,
Maine, around 18,000
shit,
people,
I'm not
and
moving there
Concord, New
anytime soon.
Hampshire, around 43,000 people, are also
Concord.
among the smallest in the
But
country.
yeah,
This is
Augusta, Maine. Like what the? It should be Portland, bro.
the direct result of a historic geography where political power was not centralized in one large city, but was distributed among the many small independent towns. So the capital was often just a small, convenient meeting point.
Academic industry, yep,
A
massive.
defining feature of modern New England is its economy.
We have the best colleges. Period. Like, I don't care about your, Alabama. I don't care about your Penn State. Like, no, bro. We have the best colleges. Harvard. They call Boston literally the college town. I know Harvard's not in Boston, but it's close enough. Harvard, MIT, the fuck, BU, BC, Northeastern, Tufts. Like, bro, they have everything. And then you have Connecticut, which has UConn. It has Yale, Sacred Heart, and then shit like that.
The region has the highest concentration of colleges and universities per capita in the U.S., from small liberal arts colleges to world-renowned research institutions like Harvard and MIT. In many New England towns, the local college is the largest employer. This industry is a massive economic engine, drawing tens of billions of dollars and a huge international and domestic population to the region. This influx of students, researchers, and faculty shapes the area's demographics, drives its high-tech and biotech economies, and defines the cultural landscape of cities like Boston and Cambridge in a way no traditional industry ever could. New England is the original and most prominent cultural region of the United States. And while each state in New England is its own autonomous unit, the overwhelming bond between them can't be ignored. Someday, each of these states will get their own 15 Facts video, but I had to start with them as a whole region. This week, I'm heading to southern Armenia to explore its bizarre borderlands region.
What did you guys think, man? New England's geography. I learned some facts. Obviously, I knew half this stuff already that's been taught. I mean, landfilling Boston. We have the best colleges. The state capital thing I didn't know about. But, I mean, yeah. What did you guys think of this video, man? Let me know down below in the comments what you think. I'm SlimReacts. Make sure you drop a like on this video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to this channel if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I can never ever find the right words, and there's no way this is real life. There's no telling you're the right girl, so I can only say that it feels right.